Don't underestimate bread making follows Uchiki Muyu, a 19-year-old introverted NEET who spent the last 2 years shut in her home. With barely any work experience or friends, she's been living a life of self-doubt, only applying herself when it comes to creating flyers and menus, working remotely for her aunt's bakery, just so she can earn that extra cash to fund her gaming hobbies. But one day, everything changes when an unexpected opportunity arises. Her aunt invites her down to Kamakura to come out in person to help out with the store. At first, Muyu rejects the offer, but it's not long until her mother's persistence and with some underhanded tactics convinces her to give it a shot. Muyu finds herself in Kamakura with no idea what to expect, and upon doing so, her aunt gives her a shocking message. She won't be working behind the scenes, but instead acting as a stand-in manager during her time of absence. This heartwarming comedy follows a young girl's journey of growth and the challenges she faces in the bakery, as well as growing out of her shell upon meeting new friends. So that was the intro. Welcome back to AniPeeps. Today I'm the host Boggs. Along with me I have my two co-hosts Boom and Mighty. How are you guys doing?
What up, man? I like the intro.
Thank you.
Excited to hear what you have to say about this one here.
Yeah, and I guess it also
Likewise,
kind of
likewise.
shows in the bottom, but yeah, also gonna be talking about a manga, and that kind of gave a quick synopsis of what we will be talking about today. My job for today is trying to get the viewers as well as both of you guys to check out this manga series called Don't Underestimate Bread Making. I love the cover for this one. That and mixed with the title is kind of what uh, intrigued me enough to buy it and check it out.
Mm.
And yeah, so far I've read one volume and loving it, so thought it might be up your guys' alley as well. Kind of light read, slice of life. This one, obviously, the setting is at a bakery, but standard slice of life, like cute girls doing cute things kind of series. So I'll do my best to kind of get you guys on board for this one. Probably not like an apt comparison, but slightly gives me Bochi vibes. I don't know if this is just because Bochi for some reason is one of the first things that come up to my mind when I think of a slice of life, cute girls doing cute things type show, but also because our main character Muyu resembles Bochi in the sense that she is very shy and not very outgoing, very introverted. So pretty much the story starts off, brief introduction of Muyu. She is a NEET. She dropped out of high school in her second year and she's been living at home for the last 2 years. She is 19 now. She pretty much reminisces about her past. I lived as a loner throughout elementary and middle school. Eventually kind of, gave up being, I guess, living the normal route. She lives at home. She pretty much kind of wants to work. She looks at a TV and it talks about like on the news a 19-year-old CEO. That kind of makes her thinking like, wow, we're the same age, and I'm like such difference in our accomplishments so far in life. And she kind of considers like her future path options in her life. And, first thing you think of, at least in Japan, when you work is work at like a local convenience store. But she kind of doesn't want to take that path because, as you can see in the bottom panel there, she kind of doesn't want to run into people she went to school with. Kind of awkward, they're like, her, she dropped out in our high school. So she's very kind of Bochi-esque in the sense of introverted and kind of overthinking, if that's a proper term.
Mhm.
Proper description. She overthinks things, which makes her anxious, but she does have like a mini job, which she's a NEET, but she has a mini job which is kind of helping her aunt make menus for her aunt who's a baker. Her mom pretty much every like once a month or something, she's like, your aunt needs help with this. She sends over the file. She helps make the menu for the bakery. And yeah, so that's pretty much to the extent she does. And she gets like a couple thousand yen and she pretty much lives based using that and uses it on gacha, pretty much doing neat otaku type things. But then one day her mom kind of sketchily says, "Could you go help out at their bakery in Kamakura for a bit?" You could also kind of see it's kind of sketchy with that top left panel, giving kind of like a scary look. So she pretty much asked if she could go all the way to Kamakura, but Muyu's kind of doesn't even like going outside. She's against it. But then her mom bribes her. She whips out 10,000 yen. That's a lot of money for her. And then she like fans open the money and it's five. And next thing you know, Muyu finds herself in Kamakura. So that's pretty much half of chapter one. So pretty much no spoilers at this point, at least so far, except for the maybe first couple of pages. But that's pretty much what starts the setting. And what really kind of got me on board to this is just Muyu. Like I just like those shy character archetypes, and she kind of gets herself into some shenanigans, which as the story progresses, each chapter you get to see a bit more of that. But yeah, that is don't underestimate bread making, at least the intro for it. I think it's a bit more towards
Mhm.
Boom's taste, but I think this is definitely one Mo would definitely enjoy as well.
Mm.
From the rip, the cover is fire, dude. Like you were saying,
Yeah,
and I do love a good Japanese bakery, so
yeah.
definitely check this one out. And the artwork, I know you only shown a couple panels, but it looks like nice artwork. Looks like a fun read, man. Definitely will check out.
Nice and cute.
Nice.
And
Yeah.
Kamakura, we've all at least been there a couple times, you know.
Yep.
So.
Yeah. That's
It's
the
the
old
home.
stomping grounds. Yeah. Based off of the like initial impressions of the cover, like immediately reminding me of Watamote, the
Yeah,
no matter how I look,
the kind
the
of
kind of the baggy
eye bags.
eyes,
Yeah.
tired, and then similar idea too, like she's like an introvert and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. No, that's a
But,
good comparison for sure. And then,
mm,
that's obviously again the first couple pages, honestly, maybe like the first 6 pages. And then you get to see some stuff. I guess I kind of minor spoiler. Again, this is the first chapter. So to our viewers who do want to read, you can cut it. But again, it's very minor. And I kind of spoiled it in the intro there. But it turns out she goes to Kamakura and her aunt is pregnant and her uncle is in a wheelchair, as you can see. And this was not what she expected. And then her aunt pretty much convinces her and drops the news to her that it's not like a 1 day thing, that she wants her to be a stand-in manager. So pretty much taking over her spot as manager. They get frequent customers, so they kind of want someone that the customers know to work at the place, because it's not just people buying bakery, but they chat and just like a very friendly vibe there. And it's just kind of, you might be confused as to why people would know her. That is a good question. On her way to Kamakura, a little girl on the street randomly recognizes her. She says, "Mama Chibe-chan." This gives her anxiety. And it turns out that one of the logos she helped made for the store was posted up, like the mascot for the store. And I don't know why I found this so funny, because like they just put her on blast with a picture of her that says, "I came up with this," and then it's her name, the lady who's usually in charge of making the shop's menu. She's a bit shy, but she gets her work done properly. So pretty much people in Kamakura who's frequent customers in the bakery know her, and they kind of associate her with Chibe-chan, which is a store mascot. And I don't know why, but I just found that like simple and funny, especially because they kind of like keep pressing on it. Like this next panel, it kind of zooms in on it, and it's kind of like, why did they use this kind of picture? But and then kind of like with how all slice of life, cute girls doing cute things series kind of work, we start to get introduced to more characters along the way. And obviously minor spoiler, but Mayu does decide to take it and take a big first step in her life and try to get out of the NEET life. But yeah, we get to meet some characters. We got I here. which scary on the outside. Who knows if she's actually kind or not? Read it to find out. We get Yayoi, super cute. She's kind of like a senpai figure in the store. And we also get Meika, who's like a JK Gyaru who also works at the bread store. But we get introduced to some great characters with their own little quirks, and they interact with Muyu differently and kind of bringing out different aspects of her. And before I guess I finish off my part, I kind of just want to show a few quick panels that I think would sell you, at least on the comedy part. Like this
Let's
one.
say it does seem a bit funny, dude.
Yeah.
Especially like the scenario she gets herself into, I'm guessing.
Mm-hmm. Especially with how she is, she just
Mhm.
panics very quick. So this one's kind of hard to see, but pretty much her first time on the register, she's starting to learn things. She's doing mental math, but the customer starts talking about other things like, since the baby weighed 4,100 grams, delivery took 3 hours. And then she thinks, oh, that's 4,100 yen times 3. And she kind of takes the numbers she hears in the background and adds that to the thing. So you can see kind of on the bottom panel, the total amounts, 493,000 yen. And
It's like 5K.
yeah, so it's like, what are you doing? That is just way too much, kind of thing. So just finding yourself in, shenanigans and some like personality wise, cute, simple humor. You could see her doing like a nervous peace sign, and then the next panel she's doing a peace sign, and it's like, why do you always do a peace sign? And she gets in like that cardboard cutout and she takes a picture from the side. And just to show what kind of personality Muyu is, her room that she moves to in Kamakura is empty, so she goes there. Her and her friends go to I think Nitori to do some grocery shopping. They all kind of introduce, oh, maybe you should get this four-seater couch, or you should get this big bed, things that she doesn't need. And Muyu kind of just stares at this lava lamp and she's like, this is so cool. And she pretty much selects something that is probably the least important in kind of filling up your room with. And turns out she buys it and she just stares at it.
For $200 too.
Yeah, it's expensive, but yeah, so did my best, but that's pretty much me trying to sell you guys to this series. Pan wo Nameruna, don't underestimate bread making. I guess I didn't really talk about it too much, but they also do kind of get pretty deep into the bread making aspect of it too, which is pretty interesting. At least things you do in a bread shop, like you sell like a loaf of bread, and these things expire pretty quickly because there's no preservative. So if it's left there for 2 days, they essentially quote unquote recycle the bread and use that bread to be creative, to make like whipped cream strawberry sandwiches, or other kind of sandwiches. And they do get kind of not too deep, but they do get into the bread making aspect of it too. So
I've heard enough. I'm hooked, man.
let's go. And this will be
Downloaded on the phone already.
Love to hear it.
Train read for show.
Mo, your verdict?
I'll give a couple chapters a read. I like and don't like the Bochi aspect, but the other supporting characters all look pretty interesting.
Nice.
Especially the Yankee and the Gyarus. So I'll give it a try.
Say she isn't as like spazzy as Bochi. Like when Bochi gets in some situation, she becomes like weird shapes, and she's not that bad. But I just meant in the sense of kind of like you said, Watamote, introvert girl surrounded by more extroverted friends. But yeah, hopefully you do check this one out too. And again, this is at least first volume, I think was like maybe like 5 chapters or something. One chapter is a bit longer, but I think second volume isn't even out yet. But I think online they probably have maybe 8 or so chapters available. So it'll be a quick read and you'll be able to decide quickly if it's not for you. And if it's not, I respect that. It is what it is, but hopefully some of our viewers definitely check it out. Anything else from you guys?
Thank you for the recommendation, Boggs.
Yep, no
Pleasantly
problem.
surprised, man.
No problem. No problem. All right. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Comment if you have checked this show because of this, and if you like it or don't like it, let me know why. And until next time.
Peace.
Toodaloo.